Let's start with making a spice paste. So I call it Tamilian fish curry. That's the best easy way to explain it. You could use mixture of coconut oil and the sunflower oil. Okay? And these days coconut oil is pretty posh. Yes, come on. Got it. That's enough. And as the oil gets hot, I have spices like fennel, and these are the flavor builders. They make that strong flavor that I'm seeking in this particular recipe. Black pepper, I would say about 10. I was getting enthusiastic about it. About 10 of those, and 1/4 teaspoon of fenugreek seeds. Saute these together. Now, as the spices are getting sauteed, the ingredients I'm going to need, I have some onion paste here. I also need some garlic cloves, about 5 or 6 of them. I would need tomatoes. Let me pull my tomatoes out. Don't need that anymore. 2 tomatoes should do. And that's it. Okay. I'm good with this. Now you could make a shallot, you could chop shallots for this. That can be done as well. But because we have the onion paste, I can use this more to my advantage. And it really helps. At this stage, garlic can be thickly sliced or chopped. That would be fine. Don't need it too finicky, too fine slivers of garlic. And all of the garlic can go in. I'm going to keep the heat to level 4, so it helps kind of medium heat. The garlic gets sauteed lightly. And to this, I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons of onion paste. So I was talking to you about shallot paste. You could use 5 or 6 shallots like that and chop it and saute it. You have to saute it till it's translucent, but because I have onion paste, I'm using that to my advantage. And in some shows I have mentioned that this is nothing but onion, ginger, garlic cooked together. That's all I have. There's not even salt in there. You can add a bit of salt to help onions disintegrate faster. But if you don't put salt, it's not the end of the world because we'll pick up. So some chopped tomatoes. And I need to cut them into slightly bigger chunks as we cook them. Perfect. And a pinch of salt. And I also need to add freshly grated coconut. Okay? You can use desiccated coconut as well. About 4 or 5 tablespoons I have used in this. That should do. Break it down. Okay, I think that's enough of cooking. I'm going to slow down a bit and swap the pan. And I have a blender here, in which I'm going to fill all of this and add a little bit of water with this and blitz it to a really fine paste. Here we go. Fantastic. And the water is here. About a cup of water. Yeah, that should do. And make sure this lid is really tightly closed. You can't take chance of this coming onto you. And I'm going to go here. Okay. I'm just pulsing it. Seems perfect to me. I'll keep it here and we'll start with next lot of ingredients. Okay, so we start with oil and coconut oil both. Sometimes it's totally melted depending on the heat of the room. It's generally solid at room temperature. But when temperature goes slightly above 26, 27, it becomes solid. Okay, now another sequence of spices from here. I'll get the temperature going up. So about quarter of a teaspoon of fenugreek seeds, about a teaspoon of cumin, and a teaspoon of fennel. I'll let that saute. I would need curry leaves for this. Just have to wait for this to crackle. I think we're done with coconut, so I can release that. Sometimes rather than spluttering, they start changing the color, and that's a good sign too. So we are good with this. Ooh. Because of heat, sometimes it gets jammed, so you have to open it very carefully. I hope I'll be careful and not spill it on myself. Yeah, this is a vacuum built, so be aware of that if you're using a blender like that. So all of that paste has come through here. Though we sorted everything here, but it's a good practice to cook all of this together. Add the curry leaves, infuse them now. It's still very hot, so curry leaves will nicely release the flavor, not relieve, release the flavor really well. And we can add other powdered spices as well here. While it's cooking, let's go with the powdered spices. So half a teaspoon of red chili powder, teaspoon of turmeric, and about a teaspoon and a half of coriander powder. Just mix that through, drop the temperature. It's a beautiful Tamilian spice paste which can be used in many things. I'll add tamarind, I would also like to add some water as well to thin it down a bit. About half a cup of water, I would say. I could easily pan fry that fish, but this is such a old classic recipe. It'll be such fun to actually cook the fish in the sauce. I would need the lid. It's fighting like angry bird. I'm gonna bring it aside so that it stops bubbling vigorously. And I'm going to add all the fish pieces. It wouldn't take very long from here on to cook because fish really cooks pretty fast. And here we go. Really slow heat. And need a little bit of salt. I'm gonna cook that. And I've stained my trouser. I got about a cup of coconut milk. Half of it can go in. And I'm being super careful. I don't want to let these hot droplets come on my body or my trousers or my clothes. And that coconut milk actually just cools things down, and fish is almost there. I'll let it cook for another 2-3 minutes maximum, and we are done. So I think the fish curry is absolutely ready. I've kept some rice here. It's a beautiful consistency. It's thickish, but still it's runny. Exactly the way I like my fish curries, especially from South India. Part of my upbringing was in Tamil Nadu. My formative years when I was training as a chef, I lived in Chennai, which used to be Madras those days. And I still salivate on the flavors from there. So I find myself cooking dishes from there all the time. It's my affinity to that region. Right, folks, this is all done. It's an amazing curry. All you need is a chili, lime or lemon. I'll give lime with this one. That would look nice. Rice, curry, lime, chili, maybe some shallots or onions. But that's it, folks. I hope you enjoyed this one.